Berlin, central Germany. This is the Cottbusser Tor. This is where SchneidersLaden is based at, and luckily SchneidersLaden could lend this room to the SUPERBOOTH board meeting today, and this is Mr. Kaufmann.
Yes, welcome.
The CEO of SUPERBOOTH Berlin, and we wanted to let you understand that our concepts of trade show are different to those of Musikmesse Frankfurt or NAMM show in the USA, because we had some experience. And to let you understand what we're doing here, we prepared some videos, and this is the first one, or no, where we would think...
Sound, please.
Over West Indies. Liar. One trip over West Indies. I Donald Trump in my drink, soldier.
Beautiful cage, fresh water, no other birds to bother you, none of that blinding sunlight. Oh!
But there's also that line, where things become almost empty, and I think musicians always have to find their place and like what do we want to communicate to an audience.
Very famous musician. Kaufmann. A very special Raster Labor. It was more an experiment than...
Give me any regime in the world that's perfect. They all fuck up.
Except the American.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're here to explain you the SUPERBOOTH, and this was the trailer for the SUPERBOOTH 2019, introducing you to what we expected to do in SUPERBOOTH 20, but it just did not happen towards the corona pandemic. And the funny thing is that while we produced this trailer, they were singing with their choir of Barbara Morgenstern live on the SUPERBOOTH event. This is the end, and then Corona popped up. We could not do the SUPERBOOTH, and then we made this wonderful home edition, and we want to tell you a bit about the story of a German trade show that is relevant for all the makers and users of electronic musical instruments worldwide. And to do this, Andre, the CEO of this company, will give you a little impressions about the historical thing, starting with our SUPERBOOTH thing. I think that was the plan, yes?
That was the plan, yeah.
Cool.
Thank you. SUPERBOOTH, as far as I know, originally started 20 years ago. Quite a history, and it was born out of a genius idea of Andreas. I mean, I was quite young at this time. I was not in the field, But he had the idea to invite and collect some small manufacturer from a this time very small scene of building modules and really exotic hardware devices. And probably they couldn't afford an own stand, an own booth at a big event like Musikmesse Frankfurt because it was simply too expensive. And also to all the transaction costs, traveling, hotel and everything. And he had the genius idea to say, hey, let's do it together, why not? And he rented a big space and said to everyone, come by, bring your products, bring you, be ready, be innovative, and just have a good time. And the super booth, as where the name also comes from, was born. No? And then quite some years, successful years happened. And then after a little break, I guess Musikmesse Frankfurt changed a little. Some things were not really as in the beginning. And then Andreas had another genius idea to take this concept out of Frankfurt and bring it to Berlin.
I have to note that this was already the point where Thomas was popping up, my friend from earlier times, and he's a board member of the Superbooth nowadays. He's the only one who's not in the room today.
Hi.
Hey, Thomas.
Hi, Thomas.
And he's seeing this, and he was the one where I said, okay, if Thomas is going with us, we can do it because he's able to calculate. He's the Excel guy, and he knows how we can do it and make it survive even in Corona times. And this is really a great thing. You wanted to tell about the start in the Funkhaus, where it was the first event in 2016. That was already made by Thomas and me. And then with the next year, Andre joined the club as our CEO, and then we were starting the FEZ the first time, and we made 3 very successful events under his leadership, with making all the bookings and making all the personal connections to the exhibitors, letting them trust in, we're giving you a good place and you're having a good place, and we know that your neighbors are fitting to what you are. And this is something very special where I want to say thank you to his unbelievable work for this. And now we are having a new idea after we had the 2020 home edition.
At least we had to create something fresh and something new. No one knew what is a home edition, what is a virtual event. It was more an idea, and then out of something like 4 weeks, we just created something, and we have a nice video for you. That's the teaser for our home edition last year. Enjoy.
Welcome from home. This is the Superbooth Home Edition. Home. This is home.
Superbooth is the best show of the year. It's easy to say that. Superbooth, the home edition, is on, and that's a kind of virtual version.
It will be like walking from booth to booth, with manufacturers jumping in and out.
Close the cassette and cut it in a horizontal line.
Rettungsringen, lassen grüßen.
Organized chaos at a Superbooth, and the concert was very pajamas.
And afterwards, we'll have a whiskey with a bunch of friends. And hopefully you.
See you there.
Yes, this was the Superbooth Home Edition, and it really happened like that. It was, I think, 4 hours or 6 hours or 8 hours video event. And
for 3 days, right?
Yeah, over 3 days.
3 days.
Day 1, 2, 3. And all these short examples was giving you an impression about what the people did at home. There was a guy in Netherlands making a concert on his cello and piano. There was me making the moderations at home together with my wife in our function room. and there was plenty of people giving their things. We had chats with a guy in India about the current corona situation, with a guy in America, Los Angeles, about the current corona situation. In the end, there was Daniel Miller giving us a statement on how he survived these weird times, and a statement from the French guy Jean-Michel Jarre to let us understand the position of a French guy who's a part of the establishment in the artist scene, saying, hey, this is impossible that UPS and all these big companies, Google and Amazon, are making a hell of money out of our crisis, and the artists are sitting at home having nothing in the fridge anymore. And this generated and caused some changes in thinking, we hope, and this also generated a good mood of the people who are all used to step together for the Superbooth once a year, who knew each other at least by seeing, by meeting live.
Exactly, and I can add, we were really overwhelmed by the super contributions we got. There were friends from the SchneidersLaden who made concerts at home. We had wonderful talks. We had workshops even. I think you could see this tape loop workshop.
Yeah.
Just crazy innovative things. And at least, I mean, now we have more or less 1 year of lockdown or Corona situation. By this time, it was something like 6-8 weeks. People were still in the unknown, not knowing what happens in the next weeks. Is it a thing for longer now, or are we back to normal in summer? So it was a totally different vibe this time. And I can say I was really impressed by all these videos we got, and also the nice messages from the people you mentioned. And as much as I appreciate that people going on, and of course want to show their faces, want to show their products, there are all companies behind. They have to earn money, so the whole industry and thing has to roll on. But from my personal point of view, meeting in a chat room, also with at least something like 6 to 11 hours time shift, can never compare to meeting in person. One of our favorites, it's Martin Voss. It's you know him better than me. He sent us a really nice video.
Martin Voss sent this video of his from home, where he said, I sent you something, and he sent this video from home. Perhaps we want to start
Let's sneak in for a minute. It's really, really cool. Do we have sound already?
Oh, yeah, sound. Okay, I'll turn it on.
Yeah. And as you can see, the module system is never be missed, even in classical concert situations. He also has the Macbeth module here.
Oh. And Martin Voss will be, by the way, also in the end then playing a live concert on the Superbooth 21, what he promised to do, and give it a lot of energy. We're very much looking forward to that.
Exactly. When is Superbooth supposed to happen?
That's the most important thing. We're trying to make the Superbooth happen in May already, and a lot of exhibitors complain about not being able to come and not being able to join if we do it in May, but we want just to go and to make it and to wait until the very last second to cancel this event if it's really necessary. We ask you please to forgive us if we still do it. We are able to do it, even if there's just 300 people joining the thing, we will just do it, and we will invite you to join virtually. And the first thing is just about these houses. This is houses where we will have exhibitors this year in the middle of the park. So there's a few exhibitors who are having their stands in the middle of the park, and there's nothing than fresh air, and you can stand outdoors. You will have the entrance to the FEZ main hall, and then we will welcome you there and say, okay, there's 500 people who are able to do their walk through the building on a one-way trip, and the other 500 are going out to the backstage, seeing concerts on the seaside stage, enjoying the catering zone behind the main hall, and enjoying the stands of exhibitors who are ready to explain their things out in the green. And if the weather is warm enough, they can open the tents, and they are standing in the middle of a forest saying, hello, this is my latest synthesizer. I'm definitely sure this will be outstanding and a totally different experience for a trade show in general. We're working on new situations, and so there's no chance, there's no alternative to select exhibitors, because in the end you go on a trade show and you're able to visit maximum 10, 15 stands with some time, and then you're done. And perhaps you need to see 100 stands, and there's 10 out of 100 where you say, this is the guys where I spent 1 hour of my life with to learn something, but you're not able to visit 1,000 exhibitors. So in the end, we need to make it smaller, and this is also the solution to let it survive, to let all this branch survive. And that's why we will try hard to make not just one big trade show, but we're on the way to make several small trade shows, to say, let these experts get together, let those experts get together, and let them be mixed up for a day or whatever. We're working on that. And that's why we're here, not just in the middle of the park with synth nerds, but we're having the idea to have also the guitar builders, or perhaps the percussion world guys, understanding our vision of trade shows in general, because we're not just synth nerds, we're trade shows event organizers. We don't know how the situation in April will be regarding Corona. We don't know how the situation in May will be regarding Corona, but the chance that things are getting better until May are far better than for April. So we still hope for the Superbooth in May.
I would like to add, in general, it's a thing. We are working on Superbooth events for almost a year. When Superbooth is finished, then we take a little break, and then it starts again for the next year. So we are ready, we are fresh, we are hungry for this. And what I can say, there are always two sides. And of the thing with this lockdown and Corona a year, which is new to every one of us over the world, also forced us to have new ideas and to rethink everything in the end. And that's why I stopped this picture here. We have a wonderful venue with this FEZ, and the rooms are great, we have stages, everything. But why not going to the outside? May is mostly it is a warm month. Summer would be even better. And when I see this, I have the clear vision that in these tents, when the exhibitors are inside and the weather is good enough, we just open them and then open the tents, and then you are standing in the middle of a spaced out wood place, and this, from my understanding, is a totally new situation and concept for specialized trade shows or events. And I'm really looking forward. If it's in May or if it's in summer, as you said, we are ready. We had a good, we prepared everything. We have the concept, and it's not depending on us. We are just waiting for the authorities. But let's move on. What we have next? Some more impressions from the outside. Yeah, maybe for anyone who's interested, we also we want to create also stages outside. We have this little Hüttendorf, which is one place where brands exhibit in these small Hütten. And we have this beautiful surrounding of the venue, and why not using it? And that's what we primarily were forced to, and now we would like to do, and we would like to try, and we are really excited how people will adapt to it and if they will like it. Okay, I think that's
everything
so
about the
far.
SuperBooth 21. And the SuperBooth 21 will either happen in May from 5th till 8th or in August. And who's not booking now will not be part of the boat. So you have to look it online, and you're more than welcome. So we're working on new dimensions in the mix of digital and live, because I think it will not be a safe situation for everybody, but I have the hope that there's at least the Europeans who say, I don't mind, or I have this injection, so I'm safe. I'm traveling to Berlin with my car in a safe way, and I want to be there. I want to join it. We have a limited permission to let people in, so there's maximum 500 people in the building at once and maximum 500 people outdoors. This is not so much compared to earlier years.
In the end, no one of us knows what is happening in 4 weeks and in 8 weeks and also in the beginning of May. What we expect now is that if it can happen, it will be a more local event, which means that we will have participants, already confirmed participants and exhibitors from Germany, Austria, Netherlands, at least everyone who can travel and arrive by car. So I can say yes, there are still currently empty exhibitor spots. I mean, we haven't finished all agreements, and we haven't got responses from everyone. But as far as I can see now, the American friends and also people from UK and India, at least we had last year, I saw the list today, we had 26 different countries included.
And this is impressive for such a little event.
Yeah, exactly. So it will be a local thing, and of course we have to count or calculate with some more cancellations. If someone is watching who's interested in exhibiting, we can just communicate with email. Just send me an email to ak@superbooth.com. And then we find a solution and we try to make this happen. What I can say to this topic, what's personally important for me, is what's also one of the core ideas of SuperBooth, that we are not seeing it as a pure business, but when brands are applying for a spot, we always having the personal contact, asking what do we want to exhibit. We are looking behind, what is this brand, what are they doing, what are their goals, what they want to show. And in the end, with the goal to find a good spot for them, to find a good position, not only to bring them in the right spot, because everyone wants the best places, it's obvious, but for us it's really important to provide the visitors the best experience. And that means for me that we create certain spaces and rooms where exhibitors are included who also work together, or who create a good atmosphere with each other. And as far as I can say, you always can count on this, that we try to find the best solution for your brand. We can close with a nice concert we had.
I turn on the volume.
What I would like to finish from before is that if you are someone who, he told before, if you are not having a clue what these people are doing with all these cables, we're having workshops for beginners, we are having workshops for women only, we have workshops for kids. We always try to integrate the younger generations because we are mid-age or old, and there has to be tomorrow, and also provide people for them growing up. I mean, the most interesting thing is the end, closing, when you can see as far as it continued, these two guys got really crazy and can land it in the water finally.
Human life. All right.
Was war's, oder? It's the hint for the merchandise. If you want to support SUPERBOOTH and you can come, you can also buy one of our t-shirts online now. Shut up! And if you just want to be informed about what we're doing, so we're having a few of them, and we just agreed that we will make a special sale. He said for those. Where we have a few more.
We will make a special sale in the next.
In addition.
Thanks for watching. Ciao.